imperialism, infernos, and impalement. Tonight on the Fenix News Network, Trump shopping for other countries, but will stealing Canada finally make eggs cheaper? Plus, LA is on fire. We'll talk to our special guest who caused it and see if he can put it out. And then, is America getting totally screwed by the weather? This is the Fenix News Report. But before we get into our top stories, the U.S. has seen its first human death from bird flu. Could this be our next global pandemic? Here to report is our chief future correspondent, Jen Haston. Jen, tell us, how does this bird flu thing play out 5 years from now?
Hi, Andrea. It's been 5 years since that first death, and honestly, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. RFK Jr. made the CDC tell everyone to try eating every dead bird they found. He said it would get us to herd immunity within a tax quarter. So the disease started spreading pretty fast, and then it got much worse when all the nation's toilets backed up from everyone trying to flush all those giant feather poops.
Yes, I read RFK Jr.'s article in Men's Health about eating roadkill. He called it the 30-second rule and the raw protein revolution. After trying to eat a dead bear cub in Central Park and a whale carcass on a family vacation, it was only a matter of time before he turned to dead birds for sustenance. I know that he has asked incoming President Trump for a pardon after all those deaths, but I'm honestly shocked that it became policy. Not shocked.
Anyway, global pandemic. They made a vaccine in April 2025, but Trump said it was woke and outlawed it. Luckily, AOC kept a bunch of vials of it in her bar fridge, so after she threw Trump into that pit of vipers, and I'm not talking about Congress here, there were actual snakes. We had a cure ready to go. What is going on? My connection that's weird. Hello, past Phoenix hosts. You're both looking very still alive and have all your arms. Enjoyed while it lasts, chumps. Oh, hey, Austin, fuck off!
Whoa, Jen, what just happened? And why are you suddenly dressed differently and sporting such voluminous yet menacing facial hair?
Oh, I'm evil Jen from an alternate future timeline. You know, multiverse and all that. Everyone's doing it. For me, Trump won re-election in 2020, and we all just kind of leaned into the evil. We're all evil now. Well, except for Pat Chajak. He's still the best man in the world and can't be corrupted. They made him the king of Greenland. Anyway, we have bird flu too. It's hilarious. Poop and feathers everywhere. This is what we voted for.
Hey, you got any bird-proof places I can hang out for a while?
Yeah, actually, here, this one's rated for 3 tippy hedrons. I guess I'll see you in 5 years.
Yeah, thanks.
Speaking of things that have been left for dead, Texas lawmakers are finally getting around to addressing the massive increase in newborn babies being left to die in dumpsters. Texas Governor Greg Abbott boldly solved the problem by announcing that Texas safe haven law, which allows babies to be left at designated places like firehouses and police stations, will now designate all dumpsters and ditches as safe havens as well.
Moving on from dumpsters to coffins, Jimmy Carter was laid to rest this week, and Donald Trump was there to put the fun into funeral. Just look at these two, just gabbing away. Trump heard that Jimmy Carter did a lot of home building, so he was there to scope out some possible real estate deals. Rest in peace, Jimmy Carter, and thank you for being a good dude.
Now let's go from a former president to current president and catch up with Joe Biden, who is trying to secure his legacy before it all burns down. Biden showed a bit of vinegar to some snippy reporters the other day when he snapped that he knows more world leaders than any one of you has ever met in your whole damn life. Imagine the restraint it took to say that, instead of, "You burn in hell, you soundbite-craving ad whores, and thanks for costing us our democracy."
In a bit of good news, yes, occasionally the news can be good, I know that's a surprise, Biden signed a law that will increase Social Security payments for almost 3 million people. But by some estimates, this change will shave off 6 months of the estimated lifespan of the Social Security Administration, so somewhere around the middle of 2034. Pro tip, retire now and try to die in the next 9 years.
Biden is in hot water with the new/old guy. Trump has accused the Biden administration of doing everything possible to make the transition as difficult as possible. And I think he's got a point. Just think how smooth the transition would have been if anyone in the current administration had just won the election instead.
Let's talk more about our once and future president and the creator of 98% of this country's news exports, Donald Trump. The election results were certified on January 6th with Kamala Harris presiding, and I don't know, this year's certification was really lacking something.
I don't know, like what? Like some gravitas, like some pomp, some circumstance? What are you thinking?
No, it was more like...
Now we'll get to Trump's agenda in a bit, but Trump's incoming Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, said in an interview, quote, "My team and I will not tolerate backbiting, second-guessing inappropriately, or drama," effectively giving her 2 weeks' notice.
Now, I'm not sure if Susie Wiles forgot that Trump goes through employees like a box of Kleenex in a teen boy's bedroom. He did have 4 chiefs of staff in his first term. That is a new one every single year. But anyways, we're sure that Susie will realize just how much drama she's in for when she gets publicly fired on Twitter.
As Trump heads back into the White House, in the Great White North, Justin Trudeau wrapped his perfectly coiffed tenure as Canada's Prime Minister. If the rumors about him being Barron Trump's real dad are true, we expect him to fuck off to a nice warm beach and wait for Melania's schedule to clear up.
And speaking of the Ice Queen, Amazon has commissioned a documentary about Melania Trump. When asked if the film will contain footage that would cast a bad light on the Trumps, Amazon spokesperson said, well, define bad. Running time is approximately 20 minutes.
I really don't care. Do you? Speaking of frigid bitches, a little bitty baby mammoth was found preserved for 50,000 years in the permafrost soil of Siberia, aka the gateway to the underworld. The scientists named the baby mammoth Yana and gave a prayer to all the oil companies and gas giants behind the global warming who made this find possible.
And speaking of global warming, we'll get to LA in just a bit, but first, this week has also seen some crazy cold weather, and just wait till you see the map. It's all a part of our segment, Dick Jokes. We
go now to our chief meteorologist, Mike Dynamo. Mike, can you explain why the weather was so crazy this week?
Thank you very much, Austin. All right, so let's check out this storm, okay? You got to be careful because it starts down here at the base, and then it goes across 6 or maybe 7 states if you measure from down here, okay, down here at the base, right? What it looks like is about to happen is this storm's going to keep shooting this direction, and by the time it gets to the end, it's just going to shoot just white stuff all over the place. So you got to make sure you dress properly. You don't want to get none of this snow or whatever, this whitey stuff in your face. So you got to make sure you get yourself maybe a mask, maybe some earmuffs, because it's just, it's going to pop out so cold up there in the northern states. So that's what I say. You got to really take care of yourself as you move forward. And and we hope that everyone's able to make it through this catastrophe.
And Mike, as this storm wraps up, what do you recommend residents do?
Probably smoke a cigarette.
All right. Thank you, Mike, for that titillating report. This has been Dick Jokes.
Speaking of white stuff getting splattered on people, the winning coach of the Duke's Mayo Bowl had 5 gallons of mayonnaise dumped on his head to celebrate.
This right here, this is why people hate the United States of America, all right? The idea of grabbing 5 pounds of mayo for the sole purpose of dumping it on a college football coach's head in a world where half the people are starving?
That's a good point. Janine, just real quick, can you cancel that order that I made earlier? looks like we might not need that. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Janine. Janine's the best. Love Janine. Look at her. Love this haircut. Great job. How you doing?
Been better.
All right, I admit that we've been a little naughty here. Maybe we've used some innuendo, but we need to get this train back on the tracks, okay? We are a respected news organization, and we should act like it. That's why Austin is here with his Pulitzer Prize-esque journalism segment, Austin Explains It All.
Thanks, Andrea. Today I want to take you inside Space Force, the newest branch of the military in charge of kicking alien ass and taking space laser names. Now, if Space Force launched dildos instead of rockets, they would have set a new record for dildo launches in 2024. As things stand, though, they only set a record for rocket launches with a whopping 93. And that's a lot of rockets, which are taller and girthier than most consumer-grade dildos. Of course, Space Force is a branch of the military, and I don't know what kind of sizes they have available for military-use dildos, much less their space worthiness. Like much of Space Force, it's a mystery. The rockets, which again I point out are not dildos or sex toys of any kind that I know of, launched from Space Launch Delta 45 on Patrick Space Force Base in Florida. The base was named after someone whose name was also Patrick, and who may or may not have had dildos. Anyway, none of us has any idea what Space Force actually does, but based on these launch numbers, they definitely spend the heck out of taxpayer money. So rockets, dildos, whatever they're shooting off over there, I think we're all going to need some sex jelly.
Thank you, Austin. That was extremely educational and professional. Now, speaking of shooting things off, on the podcast One-on-One with Mike D, rapper OG Tulo accidentally shot his gun.
Trying to be something that you not, and choices we got in life, those were your choices. Who shot who?
Come on, Lo.
Somebody got shot?
Lo, you good, Lo?
I hope. Y'all good? Everybody good?
Damn, everybody good?
Lo?
I hope. I heard everybody didn't say it.
Okay, look, if America is going to survive the next 4 years, we need Mike D and we need Tulo in a pair of pants that doesn't have pockets, okay? So calm, so chill. An actual gun went off and they're like, oh, darn it. This is the energy we need to bring into 2025. And in fact, it's the only energy we can bring into 2025 because we used up all the outrage.
Let's turn now to our top story tonight. Incoming president / felon / kleptocrat Donald Trump is ready to grab him by the province and is suggesting he might take over several countries, possibly with military force.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
And can you tell us what is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you, you're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two.
The party started in Canada, with Trump suggesting it should become America's 51st state. Canadian Green Party leader Elizabeth May countered by saying that Washington, Oregon, and California should join Canada to get better health care and gun control. You sassy bitch!
Then, Elon Musk got in on the fun, suggesting that America should liberate Britain from its tyrannical government. After all, European imperialism is what got us into this mess. They started manifesting destiny a few hundred years ago, and now Donald Trump is going to be president again. And I think we can all see the straight line from point A to point B there now.
Then, after a quick stop by the Panama Canal,
The Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China.
Trump moved on to Greenland, that giant hunk of ice that Trump seems to think is for sale, like a fake watch or an employee's dignity. Trump sent Don Jr. up there, which was easy because it's covered in white powder. Trump Jr. called annexing Greenland a, quote, no-brainer. And I think we can all agree with him on that. Not a brain in sight.
Does anyone else think he sits alone in a room playing Risk, and then when he wakes up on the board, whatever country he's on, that's the one he's going to help today? I mean, this is ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, as a white guy, I get it. Colonizing is an insatiable urge to a white person. I colonized my neighbor's backyard last week. But don't tell him he doesn't know. And in fact, couldn't we do that with Donald Trump? Just tell him, oh, yes, sir. Greenland is ours now. We went and got it. I mean, he ain't going to check.
I just think it's nice that white people are colonizing each other and leaving black and brown people out of it. So you see, there is progress.
Yeah, hold on, not so fast. Because Trump has also suggested that we rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
So we're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name.
But what does Mexico have to say about this? Well, newly elected Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has a proposal of her own.
Obviously, the name Gulf of Mexico is recognized by the United Nations, by a United Nations agency. Why don't we call it Mexican America? It sounds nice, right? Since 1607, the Constitution of Apatzingan referred to it as Mexican America. We're going to call it Mexican America.
You sassy little bitch. I love you. Unfortunately, this has not stopped Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has already said that she will sponsor a bill to rename the Gulf of Mexico.
That's right, I sure did.
Wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene has once again gotten past security. How do you keep doing that?
Well, Austin, you'd be surprised what waving a gun around does for you.
I'll have to look into that. So, Margie, what brings you here? And please tell me you don't have any more pictures of Hunter Biden.
I mean, I do, but that's not why I'm here. No, I am here to talk about President Trump's agenda, okay? We are going to make the Gulf of Mexico America again, but we're not stopping there.
Oh, God, why am I not surprised?
So, Austin, you, I'm guessing, have heard of the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Of course.
Okay, well, we are going to name that the Freedom Ocean.
Oh, God, you can't just...
And the Pacific Ocean, that one is going to be the Donald Trump Ocean of perpetual awesomeness.
Having a little trouble with that one?
And the Indian
Ocean...
Ocean...
No, you are not going to say something racist right now, are you?
I guess maybe I'm not. I will just hang on to that one, and you can be surprised later.
Oh, God. Okay, I don't think I can be surprised anymore. Look, Marjorie, people want you and your party to actually do something about improving the economy and lowering housing and grocery prices. I mean, that's what got you elected.
And we do have a plan for those things.
Well, I'd love to hear it.
Well, sure. The problem is I cannot tell you that right now because I have to go investigate that noise. Do you hear that noise?
I do not. You are making that sound with your mouth.
I think it's a Jewish space laser.
Oh, for God.
I'm going to go shoot it. Caw-caw!
Marjorie Taylor Greene, everyone.
Now, while Trump is trying to grab some other countries, we've got a few problems here at home to deal with. Wildfires have caused devastation across LA, with ordinary Angelenos and celebrities losing their homes. Here's how you can help.
First, find someone to blame. Ideally, a Democrat. This will help victims forget that they don't have baby pictures anymore.
Okay, well, I was thinking maybe that people could donate to organizations like Feed the Streets LA, who are giving meals and supplies to survivors and firefighters.
Interesting. Then they do the blaming stuff after that, right?
No, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go straight to the source on this one. Please welcome Satan to the show. Satan, thanks for being here.
Oh, you know me. I'm always around.
Now, Satan, we're only 10 days into January, and you have already had a pretty busy year.
Yeah, a lot of souls to torture. Don't want to get behind.
And now we've got these wildfires going where you've literally brought hell to Earth.
Oh, little old me? Why, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty neat trick.
Yeah, could you maybe consider taking it down a fucking notch?
Maybe even several notches.
Well, I guess I have been on a roll lately. All right, fine. But you owe me one.
Uh-oh. What do I owe you?
One soul! Ha ha ha!
Satan, that is outrageous. I can't even...
How about, instead of her soul, I send you some of my feet pics?
Austin, no. You have got to stop with the fucking... You know what? Actually, I'm fine with it this time.
Yeah, sure. Throw some tapioca pudding on those bad boys and you've got yourself a deal.
Okay. Cool. I'll send you my Venmo.
Awesome. See you in hell, bitches.
That wraps up this week's episode. But first, we have an exciting announcement. This week, we're launching the Fenix News Crew. It's a place where you can chat with us, your fellow Phoenix fans, see which stories we're following, and even submit your own jokes to be featured on the show. You want in? Drop us a comment and we'll give you the link. Till then, keep flying, y'all. Love you. Bye.
global warming, which was put on by the liberals, obviously.
Yeah. So donkey punches, basically.
Yes.
It's all Kamala Harris's fault. Now, I keep trying to tell people.
You're not supposed to talk about donkey punches when someone's trying to do a take.
It's the news.
The Democrats can't control the weather. They do it all the time. And they mostly do it, to like mess up the life of people in the South, just like me.
If you can get a vein up.
See if I can get a vein up. On my dick. I'm just kidding.
Shit.
Classy bitch. A classy bitch. She's a classy bitch. She's a classy bitch.
So I'm calling an entire militia, okay? We're going to go out there. We're going to find where that weather machine is. We're going to turn it off. We're not going to give them an opportunity to ruin our lives and send the feral hogs after us.
Especially if you say it with a southern accent. Sex jelly. Y'all got yourselves any of that nice sex jelly? I was over in Dallas the other day, and they had the nicest, smoothest sex jelly I'd done ever spread on myself.
Because we're going to do the right thing, the American thing, okay? Because I'm a patriot, and you should be too.
No, it was creamy, it was rich. It had a smell like lavender and rose hips. So when I'm over there just, swatting the bishop, as they say, it got real slappy, and I enjoyed it. It made a bit of a mess, but honestly, that's what you want in a good sex jelly. Here's the things, folks. When you're looking for your sex jelly, make sure you get something that makes a good slappy noise. You want a real...
God. I'm leaving.